Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Prediction Show, brought to you by Eagle Pass Sports Central, along with my broadcasting partner, Morris Lipson Jr., and EPISD Athletic Coordinator, Eric Villaseñor. My name is Ruben Valadez. We're coming to you live this afternoon. We're going to talk about golf today. We've got the head coaches from both golf programs. We'll get them introduced here in a minute. But first, we want to thank you, as always, for joining us on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. We've heard from a lot of you folks out there as Morris and I are out in the community, and we've got real dedicated viewers. So we want to thank all of you for continuing to watch our programs. And now in the spring with these coaches corners that we've been doing, bringing on other programs from both schools. Morris?
Well, I want to welcome everybody today, and Coach Villaseñor is a little worried. You just demoted him to athletic coordinator. And I just want to reassure. I just want to reassure him that he is the athletic director. And
that's what that look was. Like, I couldn't figure out why he looked at me that way.
Kind of looked at you, kind of weird. No, but today we're going to talk about golf, and I think it was a brilliant initiative and idea by Coach Villaseñor to do our prediction show specials. To let the community know and get to know the head coaches of the other sports, not just football. So that being said, I do want to thank Eric here for wearing Aggie colors today for me. We got other ones that are over here with Texas Longhorns and everything. And but anyway. We'll I guess, turn it over to Coach Eric Villaseñor.
Coach, will you do us the honor and the favor of introducing our head golf coaches for each campus?
Well, good afternoon to our community and to our fan base logging in. This is certainly something that we want to continue and move forward with. And I want to thank Ruben and Morris for hosting and for providing the facility. We're wearing the Aggie Maroon / ISD Maroon for Eagle Pass ISD. But to my right, gives me great pleasure to introduce our golf coach, our head golf coach at Eagle Pass High School. 20 years in education, 8 years as our head golf coach at Eagle Pass High School, Coach Jaime Flores. All right, and then to my left, 37 years in education. And side note, she was a teacher, I think, for quite a few of us in the room. And in our 10th year as our head golf coach at Winn High School, Coach Pat Hernandez. So thank you all for joining us.
Thank you. And Morris, we're going to start over on your side there with the Eagles head coach.
Well, Coach Jaime Flores, you're doing the golf. You do both boys and girls.
We do both boys and girls, yes, sir.
You do, and you got 20 years with the district. You've been 8 years as the head coach. You were mentioning before we started that you have really some young players,
We do. We have some young golfers this year. We're developing them. They're mostly sophomores, freshmen, 1 or 2 juniors. We have 1 senior this year that we're going to be hoping to make it to playoffs for us. He was a junior last year, was able to get a single round, got to regionals by himself. So we're hoping he's able to do it again, and hopefully we can do it as a team this year.
Well, tell us a little bit about, we know how football and all the other sports practice. Take us through, how do you practice? How I know it involves a lot of walking.
It does. It really does. We're very gracious to the city of Eagle Pass for giving us the pleasure of using their golf course, and they've done really good things with it the last couple of years. So we're very happy to be able to use the course. We get shuttled over to the golf course every day at 3, and we get to work. We usually rotate with Coach Pat and her staff. She was my head coach for 2 years. I started under Coach Pat, did 2 years with her before I became the head coach. So she guided me along the way and showed me how to be a golf coach. So I want to thank her for that. But yeah, we usually work the range, we work the putting green, and hopefully the golf members don't get too upset whenever we go and sneak off to go play some holes. And so yeah, it usually runs about 2 hours. And this week we had qualifiers for our tournament that we're heading out to. We have a district preview here this weekend. So yeah, we're going to be heading out here at about 30-45 minutes. So
Well, Coach Villaseñor already asked Ruben and I to start raising funds for you and Coach Hernandez to go to Augusta.
That would be great. That would be yes.
He didn't pick just a little golf course, He picked
That's our AD,
Augusta.
Man.
So no, but tell us a little bit about. I know you're going to a pre-district golf tournament right now. You're going to have district here pretty soon, or?
Yes, sir. So this is our district preview. It's at the Golf Club of Texas in San Antonio. It's being hosted by South San. So basically, we want to take our top golfers. We have our boys and our girls traveling. We want to make sure that they see the golf course and make sure that they take their mental notes, take written notes. Make sure they know how each hole is playing. And it's very beneficial to us to be able to see it before our district tournament, which will also be there. And so we want to make sure that we have some good note taking this weekend to make sure that we're ready for our district tournament in early April.
Early April. It's really good that you go play at the golf course where you're going to have the district tournament, right?
Yes, sir. It's a big help. It's a little bit of an advantage to be able to go and read the greens, know the breaks, understand how each hole is playing. The kids get an idea what clubs they want to be using for different holes. If they go and they play a certain hole this time around and they didn't like how they played it, maybe they should have used a different club. And it's things that they can use for their district tournament and change their club selection. It helps. It really does help.
Let me ask you a question that I've always wondered. How usual is it that they actually change the pins and the location of where the pin is?
They change it. I mean, some tournaments, they're kind enough to leave the pins in the same place for both days. For a district tournament, they usually get moved. So round one, they'll place them, in certain parts of the greens, and it really depends on the tournament host, whoever's hosting. And then for district, majority of the time they'll change the pin placements from round one to round two. So they need to make sure that they know how each hole plays and where the breaks are. So usually we'll have them play 3 or 4 balls whenever we like to get there a little bit early the day before, and we'll take them to the course. They'll walk the course, and I always tell them just throw 3-4 golf balls out there and see which way they're rolling, and start learning how to read the breaks for when the tournament comes.
It's like a baseball coach throwing baseballs down the sidelines to see
there you go.
the bunts are going to go. Well, Coach, really good to be able to have you on the show today, and we want to wish you the best of luck. Any last words?
Yes, thank you for having us. Thank you for giving us this platform. Thank you to Coach Villaseñor for giving us this opportunity. It brings awareness to the golf program. When I was in school, I didn't know we had a golf team, and so this is a big help to us. It lets us promote our sport, and thank you guys for having us as well. And hopefully, this will help us in the future to get more golfers out there.
Well, there you have it, Ruben. Back to you.
Thank you, Morris. And now we'll come this way to, dare I say, the legend. Coach Pat Hernandez, Coach Villaseñor mentioned that, but I think a lot of us in this room went through your classroom.
Hey, you really would have been in trouble if I told you she taught me. No.
Oh my goodness.
36 years now.
No, 37.
37 years with the district and 10 years
As a head coach.
as a head golf coach. Quite a trajectory for you, and you found success there at CC Winn. You've had successful teams come through here in the past couple of years. How does that start, and how do you keep that level of success?
Well, we get kids that have never touched a golf club before. We have to start from the bottom up. I've been very blessed and fortunate to have a lot of kids come out. Some make it, some don't. It's a tough sport. You have to walk. You've got 14 clubs you got to hit. So one club will frustrate you, that's it. You're done. I have coached a lot of recruiting for me at Memorial Junior High. Right now we're in a little, not a slump, but we haven't been able to get out there because of so every year we get about 5 or 6 players more. But some stick to it and some don't. It's just sometimes it is your sport, sometimes it isn't. But the ones that do stay, they will play the it's a good sport.
And they'll be frustrated for the rest of their life. Like all of us scratch golfers that go out there and want to wrap our club around the
Yes.
tree when the thing goes the
Yes.
other way.
Yes.
Give us a breakdown of what your team looks like right now in terms of seniors, juniors, anybody who's outstanding.
I have 2 seniors on the girls team. My district, I'm 2 years ago, 3 years ago, a senior. Rosina Garcia also. And then I have a young Alice. This is her second year, and she's also a senior.
And below them,
I have 2 juniors. They won district as a freshman, district as a sophomore, and hopefully we'll keep our fingers crossed for this.
that's great. Congratulations
Thank
to
you.
your team. Like I said, you've seen a run of success here in the last couple of years. You mentioned it, you touched on it, and Morris and Coach Flores touched on it a little bit. You know, we're in a community where baseball and football are probably neck and neck. Like historically, those are the 2 sports that dominate our attention here in Eagle Pass in Maverick County. How do you get kids to buy into a sport that's rarely seen unless you've got some time on Sunday afternoon, right, to watch some old guys on TV walking around a golf course? But how do you get and keep that in?
I take them to their first tournament, and that's where I hook them, right there. And they're scared. They're scared. I'm like, don't worry about it. If you max out any hole, you were there. So when they finish, I tell them, hey, you're not a rookie anymore. So you take them to their first tournament, they get hooked. That's all you need.
It's all about getting that first hit, as football coaches say, right? Once you get hit for the first time, you know you're in it, and it's time to go. I know aside from golf, Coach, you've also coached a lot of other sports.
I was a head basketball coach at CC Winn. I'm just going to the playoffs the last year by 1 game. You know, by 5, and we'll be I think the most memorable game is Alexander. We were up 14-0 in the first quarter at their house. Ran out of gas in the second quarter and beat them in the third and the fourth. And that second quarter prevented us from going to the playoffs.
It's amazing how coaches have a memory down to the point, right? And especially the ones that hurt, you remember a lot more, don't you? You can describe them as if you were seeing Morris and I do a lot of games. And sometimes I don't remember what happened 2 days ago, but I'm always surprised. When you talk to coaches, they know exactly at what point the game turned and all the details.
That's how football officials and basketball referees become famous. You remember them.
That's right. Coach, what does the season look like ahead for your team now?
Well, I don't want to count my chickens before they're hatched. I don't want to count victory. I don't believe in that. I'm hoping that the girls will win district again this year. We just played at the Golf Club of Texas where Coach Flores is going, and we got beat by Incarnate Word. They're not in our district. And we beat our district opponents by 54 strokes. That's a lot for one day. Well, so I'm hoping. I'm already starting to get nervous. I've had a month to go, and hopefully the girls will win district again. It'll be 3 years district champ.
And how do you keep them hungry like that? Going for a real three-peat now.
Yes. We just grind and we just keep going, and you just got to stay positive. There's days that these kids go through a slump, even in the tournament. And if you say the right words and you let them go and you let them work it out on their own, they'll be fine. If not, I have 2 shoulders to cry on. So that's good.
That's good coaching, isn't it?
Yes.
That's great. Coach, somewhere in my mom's house is still a big dot matrix printout from back in the early 90s. When you stick a computer, I'm going to look that up and I'm going to gift it to you someday. Those old printers that used to print out all those projects.
Oh, remember?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do remember.
Yes.
So
Coach V was
remembers.
my student. You were my student.
That's right. That's right.
I was
Renee
not.
was my student. Yeah.
So we want to thank you, Coach, for your time, for being here, and for your always dedication to EPISD athletics.
Thank you.
for
Thank you so
golfing.
much.
We want to wish you the best of luck in your district season.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We want to take some time now to switch out here, if you all don't mind switching out seats on either side. We've also got our head football coaches on either side of us. And I'll start right here with head football coach Rene Ramirez. Coach, talk to us a little bit about your off-season program, what you've got going on, what you're working on.
Yes, sir. Again, thank you for having us. Kids have been working hard. We're currently in our post-evaluation of our phase 1 workouts. As a matter of fact, we're halfway through. We just finished today with our explosion and running part. Kids worked out for about 6 weeks consecutively, consistently throughout. Pretty much we lived in the weight room as much as we could. Kids fought through adversity as that room produces that on a daily basis. Nonetheless, high expectations from them. We'll finish up our second part of our evaluation next week, which is the lifting part, and we've been nothing but positive results from that, as expected. We put in the work, and there's no doubt that the results will come with that. Again, great job by our coaches fitting in throughout on a daily basis, along with their multiple other duties that they do as well. So again, credit to the kids. We got to keep going, finish up the evaluation process, and then work more into our football phase, which is coming up prior to spring break, and then following up definitely after spring break.
This is paperwork season for you. Lots of notes, lots of evaluation. Is that what goes into?
Most definitely, yes. We hold our kids accountable for everything as much as we can, just to include our attendance, obviously, because that's what matters. That's the only way they're going to get better is by showing up. And then we're out there cheering on the other sports as well. Most of our kids play multiple sports, and then we like to see them, and we love to see them compete at a high level. As our track teams are heading out to Carrizo this afternoon for that high school track meet, and other kids joining the Border Olympics tournament coming up, track meet as well. Just like to give credit and shout out to our junior highs that competed last night. Did a great job out there competing, boys and the girls, and we're excited to see them every time they compete as well.
Coach, thank you as always for your
Yes.
time. Best of luck in the
Yes,
offseason.
thank you.
Morris?
Coach Roger, tell us a little bit about what you're doing in the off season, and what are you looking at right now? I know sometimes you start looking at skill positions. You start building. Where the summer's going to come around. You want to get them all headed in the right direction as to how they need to. They do a lot of work on their own, don't they? Also.
Well, it's one of the things we stress is not only what you do in your athletic period. Right now we're in our second part. We're on a week 2 of our second part of our off season. And basically that's a lot of competition on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We broke them up into 8 teams. We're competing. They're competing against each other. They're keeping score. And at the end, it's like a tournament. Those 8 teams, that within a 3-week period, that we're going to have a champion. One of the things that we tell them is that, you got to hate to lose more than you love to win. And I think that's one of the things that sets us apart from a lot of people is that we're always teaching them that that's what you're going to see the rest of your life is you're going to compete for something. What makes you different from someone else. And, we stress it's not only the time that you invest in here, but it's the time you invest by yourself. And that's, it's going off good. We're doing our early morning lifts. They come in, at 7:15, they get their lifts in so we can use our athletic period to work on their specific position. So last week we had all the O-line and D-line coming in early. They lifted, they went outside, did their drills. Then we used the athletic period to lift and compete. And for them, they were working on their O-line drills, D-line drills. And then this week we had all our skill kids and athletes. So they came in and they threw the ball, and they came in early, lifted, threw the ball, worked on their routes, worked on some terminology that we have in there, getting alignment. So we're off and running. And like Coach Ramirez said, we tested a couple of weeks ago. We had really good results from our first test, and you keep building. We tell the kids you're always climbing a mountain. You never want to get to the top, but you never are satisfied with where you're at.
One thing that I think is a big misconception that you're in the off season and you kind of, taking it easy. But what you're just telling us right now is you're still coming in at 6 or 7 in the morning. Your coaching staff's still working. Plus, you're the athletic coordinator for your campus. and all the other sports. So there's not really no rest for you.
No, and for those couple of weeks before the season, the other season gets started, I was home for a couple of days, and I'm like, what am I doing here?
Your wife's saying, "What are you doing here?"
My wife was saying, "Do you want to go volunteer somewhere? You're stressing me out at home." But now, yesterday, I think we were at the baseball game, went to the soccer game. I went to a couple of track meets already. I'm going to track meets this weekend. Like Coach Ramirez says, we're out there supporting all our athletes. In all sports. We have football players that play baseball and do soccer and do track, and it's good to see. They get excited to see us out there, and it's important for us to be supportive of the other sports as well.
And there's no surprise that you follow the track team because your old Strider days, and that's a little bit close to your heart.
She was talking about 37 years. I coached 37 years of track, so this is my first season, and I'm in Del Rio, the first meet, and my wife says,
I didn't know he was that old.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until we started counting the years. But I was in the bleachers, and I'm like, what am I doing up here? Like, oh my God! But no, it's good for the kids to go there. I went up there, sat with me, Coach. You should be down there, and I got to let the coaches coach, and I got to learn how to be a spectator, but not a good one at it.
Well, Coach, thank you, Ruben. You and Eric, take us home.
That's right. We want to just check in here with Coach Villaseñor. Talk to us a little bit, Coach, about what's coming up in EPISD athletics and how folks can go out there and join and cheer the teams on.
Sure. We have several events coming up. Spring is a pretty busy season for us. However, I do want to share that we've now transitioned to digital ticketing. So GoFan is our digital ticketing platform. We are currently using that with softball and baseball at the SAC. And we want to move forward with that here coming up for football season and kind of get a good grasp and great knowledge of how to manage that, especially with our season ticket holders. So just want to share that with the community. For those of you attending events, especially softball and baseball, you will see that platform out there. We do operate on iPhones. That's what I tell the kids, and my kid, it's like a body part now.
That's right. That's right.
It's attached to us. So, but we do have our ticket takers, that are very helpful and have gotten a good grasp of the GoFan platform. So just want to encourage everybody that and let everybody know and communicate that we're going to be full-fledged digital ticketing heading into the 25-26 academic athletic year.
That's big news. As you mentioned, there's a lot of season ticket holders from the Eagle Field season ticket days, right? And that's certainly going to be something new.
Yes. Them. So, I mean, we have the planning process in the works for our stadium and how we're going to handle that. But again, we feel that softball and baseball would get us some prior knowledge of answering questions and making sure that we're clear with our digital ticketing.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you for the information. Morris, some final thoughts from you before we sign up.
We're very glad to be bringing to everybody who loves sports about every 2 weeks. And I do want to leave on one note. Coach, we do want to again give you condolences to the passing of my brother. For those of us that saw number 33 play, and I know it's extremely difficult time for you and your family, but I'm always a believer that God always knows what's best for us. So I do want to say that to you.
Our deepest sympathies, Coach, to you and your family. 2 weeks from now, we'll have Truck coming into the studio and all the track coaches. So we encourage you to join us then. Until then, our videos and our former prediction shows are all online. You can find us on Facebook. You can go to our YouTube channel, and all our videos, even from former games, are still there. So check us out. And again, thank you so much for joining us. For Morris Lipson Jr., Coach Eric Villaseñor, and all of the coaches here today, my name is Ruben Valadez. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.